Oh, good. Excellence here.
This is Professor Jonny, he is the mastermind of everything defence.
I'm the student president of the university.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
Big day.
Yes.
King Charles, he's actually the only foreign head of state who's been invited to address world leaders here in Dubai at this climate conference. So a big honor for him and clearly a recognition of his green credentials. He has worked tirelessly for 50 years on issues of sustainability and climate change and organic farming. In fact, he tells a funny story that back when he first started to get involved in climate issues back in 1970, he says people thought that he was a bit mad. Of course, that's not the case anymore. And, you know, he's obviously been proven right that given his focus over these many decades, that has proven to be the right place to put those, or at least one of the right places to put those focuses. We're expecting that speech to be coming up very shortly. Already you can feel the security tightening around here. This is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, gatherings of world leaders of the year. Just to mention, King Charles as well has given a couple of other opening addresses at climate conferences. Of course, back in Glasgow and then in Paris for COP21. We're expecting this speech to be one that will be aimed at galvanizing leaders to continue their aggressive push to try to keep the world at that all-important level of 1.5 degrees Celsius warming. So we'll be, of course, standing by. We'll bring you that speech as it happens, which we're expecting to be any time now.
Your Highness, Secretary General, Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, Presidents, Prime Ministers, Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan for his warm invitation to speak to you at the opening of COP28. 8 years ago, I was most touched to be asked to speak at the opening of COP21 in Paris, which of course culminated in the Paris Agreement, a landmark moment of hope and optimism when nations put differences to one side for the common good. I pray with all my heart that COP28 will be another critical turning point towards genuine transformational action at a time when already, as scientists have been warning for so long, we are seeing alarming tipping points being reached. I've spent a large proportion of my life trying to warn of the existential threats facing us over global warming, over climate change and biodiversity loss. But I was not alone. For instance, Sheikh Mohammed's dear father, Sheikh Zayed, was advocating for clean energy at a time even before the United Arab Emirates as such came into being. All these decades later, and despite all the attention, there is 30% more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now than there was back then, and almost 40% more methane. To keep our common hope alive, I can only urge you to meet it with ambition, imagination, and a true sense of the emergency we face, and together with a commitment to the practical action upon which our shared future depends. After all, ladies and gentlemen, in 2050, our grandchildren won't be asking what we said. They will be living with the consequences of what we did or didn't do. So if we act together to safeguard our precious planet, the welfare of all our people will surely follow. And we need to remember, too, that the indigenous worldview teaches us that we are all connected, not only as human beings, but with all living things and all that sustains life. As part of this grand and sacred system, harmony with nature must be maintained. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth.